one of the main topics when it came to the election. That was how much debt the U.S. is carrying and how significant the interest costs of that debt are becoming. And all of that combined, along with the craziness that's going on in the global economy right now with respect to trade wars, is leading many countries and many investors to lose confidence in the U.S. debt. Investors are starting to fear defaults on what was once considered the single safest investment that somebody could make. And there's real fear that the debt growth is at some point going to outpace the economic output of the United States.
You are literally making me fall asleep.
Impossible to be repaid and making.
You are so boring that you can make somebody fall asleep while they're on drugs.
Don't forget about our date this Thursday. You're not going to miss it, are you? Time is running out. This Thursday, the live event will...
What some of the comments suggest, I do not consider this a channel that is primarily about debunking Christianity. I regularly express flaws that I see in the belief system, but the primary goal is to let people who are questioning their faith know that it is okay to ask questions and to be there for people who have left the faith and let them know that they are not alone. But the fact is, and I think it's obvious if you've been watching for a while, I do not believe in God.
I don't believe in your God!
I used to believe in God, but I no longer do. And quite often, people will ask me why I don't believe in God. And I don't always give the same answers because there isn't just one answer. I could say that I don't see the Bible lining up with reality, or that Christians are supposed to have the evidence of the fruit of the Spirit, but I rarely saw that evidence. I could say that I've had way too many unanswered prayers. I could talk about how the problem of evil makes a good God who is also all-powerful impossible in this world we currently live in. But in the end, it really does come down to, I haven't seen any good evidence.
This box contains over 217 bits and pieces of information. Evidence.
And there was a long time where I was really looking for good evidence because I wanted it to be true. So I thought I would talk about evidence today. And I've decided to make this one a two-parter because it got pretty long. So in the first video, I will give reasons why certain people say I reject their evidence. And in the second video, I will talk through some of the evidence that is presented as the best evidence that...
Baby? Any more garbage bags?
Okay.
There is, and talk about why it doesn't convince me. Hey everybody, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and commenting and all the other awesome stuff you do because you're awesome people. I put the links down below for the social medias, for the Patreon, for the merch, for a secret code that if you crack the secret code, then it's a whole thing. So like I said, I don't believe in God. So either I haven't heard all the evidence that there is for God, or all the arguments for his existence, or I've only heard the bad ones, or I have heard all the evidence and arguments, and I just don't think there's any good arguments or good evidence. Or because I don't want to believe that evidence, because I'm stubborn, or I just don't want to believe.
I would love to believe in the existence of God. There's just a single shred of evidence for the existence of God. I mean, anything at all, people.
My challenge for atheists is this. When you're dealing with the topic of God's existence, Jesus' resurrection, the evidence for the Bible, that sort of thing, no sarcasm, no self-righteous posturing allowed.
Besides the entire universe.
Besides the entire universe. Get it? Wow, how did this universe get here? Maybe a God did it? How do we know there's a God? Because there's a universe?
Just no evidence.
What do you say to that?
Yeah, I would say you need to do more reading. Even it's not me, Mike. You're saying it like you're talking to me. You need to do more reading. But you do too. You should do more reading. I would say even people like Graham Oppy will admit there is evidence. Paul Draper as well, who's an agnostic, will say there is evidence. He just is not say there's enough for him.
I'll agree that it's not entirely accurate to say that there is no evidence for God. The arguments that Christian apologists put forward is a type of evidence. It's just not good evidence. It's not conclusive evidence, and I really don't think it's convincing evidence. At least not for me and not for a lot of people. It's like accusing someone of a crime because they happen to be in the same country at the time of the crime. Sure, that's a type of evidence that they were in the same nation, but it's not really good evidence. But instead of going back to the drawing board and looking for more evidence or recrafting their arguments, they say things like it's a heart issue or that we're just being stubborn.
One of the common atheist comments I get, or agnostic comments I get, is there is no evidence for God. And you're like, oh, okay, well, let's take the teleological argument. Are we going to take this? We're going to argue this down using the design of the universe and the intricacies. How about molecular biology and just show that this is clearly there's intent going on in what's happening? How about the existence of the human soul? And they go, there is no evidence.
How does somebody say that the human soul is evidence for God? How do you lump in something that hasn't been shown to exist as evidence for something else that has not been shown to exist? It's almost on par with this Michael Scott clip that I've used before.
Is there a God? If not, what are all these churches for? Jesus is dad.
Okay, fulfill prophecy in the scripture, and then they go, there is no evidence. And so after a while, it's like the reverse of the emperor has no clothes. There are no clothes on anybody ever. No sarcasm, no self-righteous posturing allowed. And they start to see things that way. And this, I think, is a heart issue. Evidence is a distraction from the heart issues.
Keep in mind, I'm not talking about all atheists here. I'm referring to the ones who've been programmed, like bots, to run around screaming, show me the evidence, show me the evidence, show me the evidence. That's no evidence. That's no evidence. That's no evidence. It's their mantra. And it's incredibly difficult to get them to see how their thoughts and behavior have been conditioned, because now their self-esteem is connected to their membership in their group. Turns out that